So what's really going on at General Motors right now? We're joined by an expert from Ann Arbor, Michigan. We have Dennis Virag. He is the president of the Automotive Consulting Group. Dennis, welcome to Bloomberg.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
So what does this shakeup at the top of GM mean? It's a prelude to an initial public offering. Is there cause for concern?
Well, I don't think there's cause for concern. It is somewhat confusing that the day before the IPO is to be announced, Ed Whitacre resigns, but stranger things have happened, and most likely things like this will happen in the future.
Does Dan Akerson have what it takes to lead GM? He's not an automobile executive. He comes from the technology sector, telecommunications, also from the Carlyle Group.
Yes, it's rather interesting. Everyone criticized GM for being an insiders group. Here we have a situation where the good old boy system continues to work. Only this time it's within the telecom industry rather than within the ranks of General Motors. Dan Akerson is a real question mark to me. He does have telecom background. He's worked with several telecom companies. My question is, what has he done in terms of complex multi-system manufacturing, like an automobile or a locomotive or an aircraft? He, like Ed Whitacre, comes from the telecom industry where they make small throwaway devices, not like an automobile.
What about the operations and the automobiles at the General Motors? They released results. North American productivity as well as sales seem to be doing well.
They are doing well, but look at where we're coming from. Last year we had a very miserable year, and General Motors was on the brink of bankruptcy. They were only saved by the government bailout. So we have to be doing better this year. There's no place to go but up.
What about the operations in Europe? That's also seemed to be optimistic for General Motors.
Well, again, they're doing much better. Europe is in a very similar situation to the U.S. Last year they had the economic crash. It's having slow growth now. It's doing better than last year. It will do better next year than this year. But again, the growth is going to be very, very slow.
The report from General Motors highlighted some weakness in Brazil as well as China. Do you think that this is a bigger trend?
Well, Brazil and China did really not experience the collapse of the industry, of the automotive industry, that North America and Europe did. They've been very robust in terms of growth. They're slowing now. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's really good. It's good for the countries of Brazil and China, and it's also good for General Motors.
Dennis, what's the outlook for the Chevy Volt? That's the $41,000 electric automobile. It'll get some government subsidies. Do you think it's going to be a hit with consumers?
It will be a hit with a very niche group of consumers, but the mass market, it's not going to be a home run that many people within General Motors and within the administration think it's going to be. It's a unique vehicle. You have a product like that, and there's always people who have more money than they know how to spend it that will vie up and buy the Volt. But again, it's not a mainstream vehicle, and it will not be a knockout success for General Motors.
All right, we're going to leave it there. I want to thank you very much, Dennis Virag, Automotive Consulting Group.